In this video we're going to set your account up ready for it, submitting a tax return. So again, you always come to this page when you first come back to the app, the income and expenses page, because that's the one you'll use most of the time. All you'll be doing is entering income and expenses. But we're going to go over to tax return, and we're going to select the tax period. You see the button here is proceed, but we're going to select the tax year first that you want to submit the return for, so that'll be 1920. So in this particular account it's showing 100% complete. In your account it'll probably show something like 70 or 80% complete, and this button would say proceed rather than submit. So if we get to the basic tax details, you've already filled these in yesterday or in the first demonstration video. So just scroll to the bottom, check that you're happy with everything, make sure that your national insurance number has been entered with uppercase letters, because your tax return won't submit if they're lowercase. They must be uppercase. And check that your unique tax reference number is correct. Vehicle details. If you're using the mileage allowance method, then you don't enter any vehicle details in here, because for depreciation, if you're for example, your vehicle is a motorbike, van or lorry, and you're doing deliveries, and you've purchased the vehicle during this tax year, during this 1920 tax year, you can claim the depreciation back on the full vehicle in the first year, but then you would be using the depreciation method and not mileage allowance. So if you're a taxi driver or a private hire driver, or you're using a car for food deliveries or parcel deliveries, you would enter that in here. The amount of time your vehicle is used for work, pick the percentage that you use it for work. If you only use it for half the mileage that you put on the car, then it would be 50%. It's usually 100%. How many cars you claim depreciation on? Let's say it's one vehicle, and the opening cost of the value of the car or taxi, let's say it's 20,000. Remember, that's the opening cost in this financial year. So if you've had the car for 2 or 3 years, it's not the value that you paid for the car, it's the value of the car at the start of 2019. Then you enter the CO2 emissions, which you'll find on the vehicle registration document, your V5. If you're a taxi driver or a private hire driver, you'll have your V5. You won't have lost it, because you need it every year. If you're using a car for courier work and you can't find your registration document, your V5, you can go into the knowledge base and then come over to bookkeeping, go down to where can I find the CO2 emissions for my vehicle, click on that, then click on this link. It will take you to the HMRC website page where there's a tool for you to enter your vehicle details, and it will tell you the emission rating for your vehicle. Straightforward answers, yes or no. Are you married or in a civil partnership? Have you registered for marriage allowance? These little boxes here, these little question marks, I'll give you tips or links to find out more regarding marriage allowance, if you qualify for it or not, or how you qualify. Were you employed during the year? So this is a self-employed tax app, but if you've been employed and earning under pay as you earn, it allows you to enter that information in here. each time you answer one of these boxes, if there's additional questions, they'll drop down. And they'll ask you things like name of your employer, what was your tax code on your P60 at the end of the tax year, what's your employer's pay-as-you-earn reference tax number, etc. And it'll go down to asking you were you a director of the company, director for the business, or a teacher employed by a third party. Did you receive any pension income during the year? So if you have received pension income, this is where you would enter it. The amount you've earned for the full year. And they'll ask about state pensions, any other pension income during the year, or did you contribute to a private pension? And if you as you answer these questions, you'll see you'll get additional drop-down questions. So next, our benefits. Did you receive any benefits during the year? Again, it's usually no, but if you have, then it'll ask you about incapacity benefit, job seekers allowance, any other benefits during the year. If you answer yes, additional questions. And then the important one up here is where you're resident in the UK for the tax year. That is, did you spend more than 180 days in the UK? So again, generally, these are the most popular answers. Just take your time, read down them, make sure that you're happy, and then next. And that's your tax return set up, ready for your income and expenses, and you'll accumulate them through the year, or you've done that already and you're at the end of the tax year and you're just ready to submit. So in here you can see your tax liability, your national insurance, and your total liability. This is class 4 national insurance. Class 2 national insurance is voluntary contributions and doesn't form part of your tax calculation, so it's not in here. It's only class 4 national insurance. So when you're ready to submit the return, you enter your Government Gateway user ID in here, which is a 10-digit number with no spaces. I know when HMRC send your Gateway user ID out, they send it out as 10 digits, but in 5 sets, 2 digits with spaces. Don't know why they do that, but you can't enter it when you go to submit your return back to HMRC. It must be 10 digits, no spaces. Enter your Government Gateway password. Check the box that says I agree that the information provided by me for this tax return is correct, and I allow the driver's tax app to submit it to HMRC on my behalf, and then hit submit to HMRC, and that's it done. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to send a return to HMRC. And that's your account set up, ready for submitting your return. And now all you do is continue throughout the year entering your income and expenses, and your account's ready to go. When it's time to submit your return, go to tax return, go to the final page, enter your details, your Gateway user ID and password, check the box and hit submit, and then HMRC will send you a receipt back via email confirming that your submission's been successful. If you have any problems with the submission going through, it might be that something's not set up quite right. Maybe you've got the incorrect username and password there. That's the most regular issues. Just check your Gateway user ID and password are correct, and then submit again. Okay.